So guys, there's a lot of rumors that Lucid Motors may be going public soon via a SPAC merger. This is the SPAC in the spotlight, CCIV Churchill Capital. But besides the rumors, is there more to this company, Lucid Motors, as a possible long-term investment? This is a very compelling company. I did do some research on it, did do some digging, which I'm going to share with you guys today. And the future could be pretty bright for this company. I'll give that out there right now here at the beginning of this video. Things look good. But the question is the majority of investors that are speculating right now on CCIV potentially merging with Lucid, are they looking at this company as a long-term investment, or are they just looking to kind of make a quick buck here on the potential merger news? The SPAC potentially spikes up and then they sell out. We don't really know. I would venture to say that a lot of people investing right now are speculators in the stock. But if you are considering Lucid Motors as a potential long-term investment, this video is going to be informative. Now here's the thing, before all of this, we need to address what rumors are out there so far in regards to the merger. Now guys, I found some evidence here that pretty much concretes this deal. Look at what I found here on Twitter. It's irrefutable evidence that Lucid Motors has confirmed the merger with CCIV. Okay guys, that was just a joke. I'm just kidding around. There's nothing confirmed as of recording this video. It's all still speculation. But as soon as we hear more on that, I'll look to make a video if that's interesting and that's something you guys want to see. No, but seriously, here you have information where it actually is something to take note of. You have a gentleman named Liveris, and he serves as Lucid's chairman. And he also is an operating partner at CCIV, which is the SPAC that's planning to take Lucid public. Now, this isn't just a rumor, guys. If you look at Lucid's website, you can see on there he is on the board of directors, Andrew Liveris, and he's listed as the chairman of the Lucid board of directors. Then if you look at Churchill's website, we can see here that he is listed here as well as operating partner of the company. So when you see connections like this, kind of put two and two together, it's possible that he has a good amount of influence to get these companies together, have a successful SPAC merger, and take Lucid Motors public. That's kind of what everyone's going on right now. There's, a high probability of this actually happening ever since we got that leaked rumors from Bloomberg. But I'll also say this, I'll throw this out there as a possible scenario. Maybe because he's on both boards, it's kind of a conflict of interest and it may not pass, or it may not be something that the company does. I'm not really sure on that, but that's something to consider. Just keep that in mind. Not saying that's going to happen or a high probability, but it is a potential outcome. Okay, so now what I actually want to do, guys, is spend some time looking at Lucid Motors. Like I said, if you're considering this as a long-term investment, you want to definitely understand the company, what they've done, what they're doing, and where they plan to go. And that's what we're going to discuss in this video. Their CEO actually had a long letter recently that he released, kind of outlined what the company's goals are. And I think it's important to really dissect this, see what he sees, and see if it actually is something of substance or if it's just BS at the end of the day. We're going to find out today. I'll tell you this, you may be surprised by how big Lucid Motors can actually be by the end of this year. So there definitely is a lot of potential. They are doing things right. These are kind of hints I'm giving you guys right now for the premise of this video, really. And if you appreciate any part of this video, find any value in this video, guys, smash the like button, helps the channel out tremendously. Okay, so when I was doing some research, I wanted to make a video here on Lucid. I came across this article that had the headline, Lucid Motors expects a breakthrough year. That's a bold statement, so let's see what they actually have to say here. So the CEO of Lucid, Pete Rawlinson, actually directly posted an update on Jan 21st, just a couple of days ago, on what Lucid Motors' plan is as a business here in 2021. He started off with summarizing 2020, saying that 2020 was a momentous year for the company, where they were actually able to double in size despite all the issues surrounding us. The highlight here was that they revealed their Lucid Air, and this car pretty much claimed to be the quickest, most aerodynamic, have the longest range, and have the title of fastest charging luxury EV ever made. So these are some big claims, especially if you know anything about Tesla, because Tesla has a Model S. They do a lot of good things with the Model S, so for Lucid to come out here and say they're better than the Model S essentially, Bold claims, but we don't really know for sure right now. I'll wait till, some of these cars are in the wild and independent reviewers have a chance to actually look at these cars and judge it for what it is. We'll wait and see when that happens, so I'll reserve my judgment for that point. But as of right now, let's just say Lucid is on top of things. They have a potential Model S killer. Now, last month, Lucid said that they completed their factory called the Lucid AMP1, and this is a greenfield factory that is going to be where their future EVs like the Lucid Air will be produced. This, guys, is remarkable. I applaud Lucid for actually achieving this and completing this because it's a big feat. It's a big achievement because there aren't too many companies that have been able to do this. Many automakers, even the traditional ones that have a whole bunch of cash and investors behind them and all that stuff, have not been able to properly execute with a proper production plant for electric vehicles. What they've done is they kind of taken their traditional factories where they build their ICE vehicles and made a little section for EVs. And they're like, okay, now we're an EV company. Not really how it works. And they're suffering the fate of that right now because there's like no demand for their products. They're expensive, so they're not really making money on them in most cases. And it's not a really good situation for these companies. But in Tesla's case, they built everything from the ground up. That's what Lucid did as well. And they saw a ton of success. That's the route that Lucid is going. They're building everything from the ground up. And that's going to be a game changer in my opinion. What I see here with Lucid is a lot of similarities that I see with how Tesla built their success. They did everything themselves. They built a factory, they figured out the car design, they built the car, and then they started selling the car. Then they take that capital, use it for other cars, that kind of stuff. Lucid is on the same track here. So all they have to do is really follow in Tesla's footsteps that Tesla's pretty much laid out here, and they should be a successful company as long as their products look good, perform well, and the general public actually likes what they see. And I was thinking about this. The benefit here that Lucid actually has from a lot of other companies is that they've been able to see two large pure EV players build out models that are pretty different. So Tesla, like we said, ground up, they've built everything themselves. Then you have NIO. NIO is another big successful EV company in China, but they don't build everything themselves. They actually contract out the building of the cars to JEC Motors. Because of this, NIO actually has very poor margins, or rather I should say NIO had very poor margins. They weren't making money on their cars, but recently they've been able to turn a profit with other services that they offer that are more subscription based. But then you see Tesla, they build everything themselves, they have massive margins, and Lucid's like, looking at both of these, Tesla seems to be the route that they want to go. And hey, I can't blame them. I think that is the more successful route long term. Now, the last achievement here in 2020 for Lucid was around their Beta 2 prototypes, which are cars built at the new factory. And the results look very good so far. But there's still a lot of testing required here before they can actually be readily sold. Great, that was 2020. That brings us now to 2021. In 2021, Lucid recognizes that the race is on. They need to be quick, adapt quick, and innovate as quick as possible because we do have a new administration in the US and they are pushing for EVs. And there's of course Tesla that continues to innovate and kind of push the envelope there. So there's a lot of Americans, more than ever before, that are looking to switch to electric vehicles. Now guys, this is so important. With the new government, they are probably going to reinstate things like EV credits, which means the demand for EVs should pick back up quite significantly again. It's going to explode in some cases. And Lucid needs to be on top of their game here to take advantage of this. This is the opportunity for this company to really go from a small nothing to a multi-tens, maybe possibly even $100 billion company over time. This is going to be the decade, guys. This is going to be the decade of change for electric vehicles. We're already seeing that here with Tesla leading the way. Lucid can follow in their footsteps. They can leave traditional automakers like GM, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, name your favorite oldie there. And yeah, while I am still a fan of some of these older brands because I've owned their products in the past and I've enjoyed their products in the past, I gotta say, the future isn't those cars. The future isn't ICE. That's pretty much obvious at this point. The future is electric vehicles, and Lucid has the potential to be one of the biggest companies in that space. Okay, so this is all cool and all, Lucid plans to be big here, but What are they actually going to do to achieve this? So for starters, they're going to bring the Air to production here in just a few short months. What they say is true. A few companies have actually made it this far, so this in itself is a milestone for the company. Along with production, they will start deliveries of their cars as well. So by the end of 2021, you should see some Lucid Airs on the road. The other big part they highlight is that they'll be working on their Lucid studios and service locations and continue expanding their partnerships with companies like Electrify America. Now, Electrify America, if you're not familiar, is a public fast charging network in the US. Now, these studios that I mentioned, they're kind of like showrooms. Tesla has something very similar. You can go in, experience the car, sit in it, that kind of stuff. And then you have service centers. This is where you actually get the cars serviced if there's any issues. What Lucid plans to do is they plan to take their 5 studios right now to 20 studios by the end of 2021. And this includes international expansion as well. So this is going to give them global exposure. Now to top it off, they plan to start making moves already on their new SUV, Project Gravity. And this should be even bigger in terms of success as compared to the Air, because consumers, especially here in North America, have moved towards wanting SUVs versus sedans. And we can see that with the success from the Model Y versus the Model 3. So Peter is optimistic on the future of Lucid, and that's good because you want to have a leader that is extremely optimistic on where this company is going, have visions that most people are doubting, and execute, which is what he's done well so far. It's seriously going to be an interesting year, next few years for Lucid Motors, and especially if you're a Tesla investor, this is probably going to be the first real competition that's hitting the market doing something very similar to Tesla. So it'll be interesting to see if this succeeds, and if it does, how much market share it actually takes away from Tesla. I'm here watching this closely because I do have a significant portion of my portfolio in Tesla stock. So I definitely do want to see Tesla succeed and kind of expand their lead even more. But for a consumer, you know, in terms of progressing the world, I would love to see Lucid actually put up a good fight here. Now here's the thing, through this letter that they released, there wasn't really any talk on how many cars they plan to actually produce and sell in 2021. So I did some more digging and I came across this. The initial annual capacity is 30,000 units for their new factory, with the goal eventually to produce and expand up to 400,000 vehicles. So simple math here, 30,000 units, 12 months in a year, that gives us around 2,500 units per month. Now assuming that they start delivering in May, because they aim for spring 2021, this would mean that they should hit around 20,000 deliveries by the end of the year. Now, of course, this will change. Say they are able to start a month early in April, that'll increase that target by 2,500. And if they start a month later, that'll decrease it by 2,500, so on and so forth. Regardless though, I think 20,000 units is a safe estimate for this year, for 2021. And guys, assuming the lowest possible price for their cars, which is $69,900, this would equate to almost $1.4 billion in revenue, which is remarkable. Now, assuming a very rich and generous 20 price to sales ratio, I will say this is pretty much like the most optimistic end that I would look at. Even with everything that Lucid has done so far, this is extremely optimistic as a valuation. It would put Lucid Motors at close to a $28 billion market cap. Now, this could fluctuate, you know, if they release more than 20,000 cars, it could be around 30 billion, maybe above that. If they produce less than 20,000, it can end up being in kind of the low to mid $20 billion market cap. All I know is right now the market is hot for EVs. Investors are willing to pay a massive premium for EV players. And so far, Lucid has proven that they're able to build a product that looks good, performs well, and has demand out there because they have a ton of pre-orders, and you know, people are just waiting for an alternative to Tesla that's actually a proper alternative. Regardless, all I'll say is this, you know, we can expect a $30 billion market cap on this company fairly quick, in my opinion, when they do eventually go public. So if we somehow come out and we're at a much lower valuation, it may be something worth dabbling in. But I will reserve that for another video. If you guys want me to do a more in-depth analysis here on, you know, what valuation kind of makes sense, the range of valuation with the numbers and price of sales and revenues and all that kind of fun stuff, let me know. Get this video to 1,500 likes and comment down below as well, and I will make that happen. Regardless, this was pretty much a summary, guys, of what Lucid plans to do in 2021. It's going to be a big year for the company. They do want to go public this year somehow, some way, maybe a SPAC, maybe some other route. We don't really know yet. All we know is that when this goes public, it's going to be one of the most hyped stocks in the market for this year, in my opinion. So we'll wait and see how this plays out. I'm watching, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing this company succeed over the long term. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one.